A playlist special is coming your way with fine music from Sam Miltich and the Big Dipper Jazz Band. Get the latest on film and music festivals and sculptor Tim Burns. The playlist is next.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Welcome to an extended play of the playlist on WDSE. The next hour holds some great music and tips on the latest film and theater prospects to arrive in the region. Tonight we're honored to share the studio with a fine group of jazz musicians from Grand Rapids. So let's begin with music from Sam Miltich and the Big Dipper Jazz Band. Gentlemen?
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
Sweet. Thank you. Awesome job. Fantastic. Well, that tune is called The Pearls, and we'll get to hear more music and meet the band later in the show. And we'll be right back after this.
I'm Minden Anderson, and we are at the venue on Superior Street, and we are doing a play called American Buffalo. It opens this weekend, and it runs June 3rd through the 19th on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. It's sort of hard to describe, but it's a really cool play. It's by David Mamet, who's a really neat playwright. Ultimately, it's about business versus friendship and sort of the connections that they make, where you see that there are actually a lot of similarities between the two things, even though they try to distinguish them early on. Our target audience is adults, but definitely people who are looking for a play that's a little more intellectual, something that's funny and serious at the same time, because there are moments that are very funny because these are people that you know.
A new international film festival has come to Duluth. This week there are a range of film offerings meant to inspire, entertain, and provoke. Joining me is festival organizer Richard Hansen and Ricky McManus, also a film organizer in these parts. Thank you both for coming in.
It's our pleasure.
Love it. So tell me a little bit about this film festival. Richard, you've been working on this, you say, for 10 years.
That's correct. The festival in Minneapolis has existed for 10 years. We have predominantly been a films on music festival while in Minneapolis. But about a year and a half ago, a mutual friend of Ricky and I's had approached us and said, you know, I think there's a way that we could maybe make the festival work really well up in Duluth. And I came up about a year and a half ago, I think it was in January, February, and met Ricky and instantly fell in love with the place. And
but he had never been to Duluth before either.
I actually had
we
not
had to
been.
sell him.
Yeah.
So how hard was it, Ricky, to introduce them to the venues that we have here?
You know, the first meeting was really just kind of an overview, and the next time he came, but a lot of it was meeting the people. It was sitting down with the mayor and Terry Mattson from Visit Duluth, and then taking a look at some of the venues that we had, and I think he hasn't looked back since.
Yes, you're sold?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we are in the midst of it right now, so I'm definitely sold.
Yeah. And I know I've pulled you away from things that are happening right this minute, but tell me a little bit about how you pick the films and what films we have yet to see.
Sure, absolutely. We have a number of programmers, film programmers, who are in locations around, one's in Seattle, one's in New York, and one lives in Minneapolis with me. And they scour the film festivals literally around the world. Berlin, South by Southwest, Sundance, Tribeca, you name it. These guys are out looking at films. Also, we have our feelers on the ground all over the world. Literally, we have people who are giving us suggestions and things like that. So we're keeping an eye out. That's what we do. We look for films.
And do you have an audience in mind when you're picking them, or do you want to have a balance, or kind of what do you have? Okay, this is a good one for Sound Unseen, or how do you decide?
Well, there's definitely a full range of types of films. We go all the way down to children-related films. We have a section called the Childish Films. Childish Films are age-appropriate for ages 3 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, and one of them has even been nominated for an Academy Award. It's called Secret of the Kells. It's an animated feature, and it's not played up here, and it's one of the more beautiful films that was made last year, and that's a childish film. Okay. Then, of course, we have things that are more music-related, and something for the younger audience, and of course, we like to cater to all age ranges. We've got a great film called Rejoice and Shout that may be a little bit more interesting to some people who are in the older age category.
Oh, and I can't wait for Older Than America.
Yeah.
You know, it's a movie that we haven't really seen around here much. And it hasn't hit the big screen, and we had some showings for kind of cast and crew in Cloquet, but it was the movie that was shot in our area, so I think there's going to be a lot of interest in that, and it's a fabulous movie, and I think it's a movie that everyone should see. It has a very important message.
For people who aren't aware of what the film is about, it has a local tie, right? It was shot.
Yes, it was shot in Cloquet about 2 years ago. And so these people really came into our community and became friends with so many people. And some of the stars, Adam Beach still comes back and plays golf up at Black Bear.
That's awesome. And Ricky, you've been an opportunity to invite people to make films in northern Minnesota, in Minnesota as well. And did you get that welcome mat when you kind of floated this idea?
There's no question. Yeah, no, that was our first meeting. Obviously, every meeting after that has been really great. But one of the things that we wanted to do, because of Ricky's influence, is we wanted to bring in a lot of filmmakers. So we do have a number of filmmakers who are currently in town and screening their films, available to you'll have Q&As after the screenings. They're around, and a number of them have, and accessible, yep, and great people. They're really interesting people.
And from a film festival goer perspective, having the opportunity to actually speak to the filmmaker and what their intent was is really a big part of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it puts a face to the project, to the film itself, and it's like, oh, I can see what you're thinking, I can see what you're saying there, a little bit better when they're there to take care of it just face to face.
Yeah. And is there one particular one you're excited? You can't pick your favorite child, can you?
Yeah, no, of course not. Yeah, we've got a number of great films, obviously, but our closing night film, it's based on a band that some people may know, which is a band called Low. Low is obviously a very popular local Duluth band, and the filmmaker, his name is Philip Harder. He's actually in town, and he has made a film about the Low experience. It's not a documentary. It's not. He calls it the Low experience. He's culled materials that he's been following them since 1994, and shooting materials up until even about a month ago. So he's been following around for about 16 years, and it really is a spectacular film, and it's a world premiere, and it's never been seen before. And in fact, he had to go back to Minneapolis to finish it. A few minutes, you know,
So while he's in Minneapolis finishing it,
Yes.
we do have a trailer. So this is a
Yeah.
film about music, and
and it's a film about Low.
yeah. So take a look at the trailer.
I forgot all my songs. The words now were wrong, and I burned my guitar in a rage.
Good afternoon. What brings you to Canada?
We're a band. We're going to play
Oh,
up.
musicians, eh?
Yeah. Well,
You can pull your vehicle up right over there and wait for further instructions.
Any opponent that stands in my way will be crushed.
one.
It's going to be a really fun film to watch, and it will be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
promise?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
If you want more information and tickets, where do you go?
SoundUnseenDuluth.com is the website, and you can buy tickets right there, and or you can just walk up to the venue.
Okay, fantastic. Welcome to Duluth. Have
Thank
a
you.
great film festival.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us the opportunity to see some cool stuff.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It's been great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we're happy to welcome back Sam Miltich and the Big Dipper Jazz Band once again to our studio. They've got more music ready for us, and this tune is called East St. Louis Toodaloo. Take it away. Very nice. Very nice. You guys are just awesome. Thank you so much. Sam, can I ask you to stand up?
Yes, certainly.
Is that okay? Because then I'm not a giant
Sure.
looking down at you. But Sam, you pulled this band together, so will you do the introductions for me? Tell
Sure.
me who's in your band.
Certainly. We have Don Vidal playing the saxophone, tenor and soprano. We have Sandra Grotjohn playing the trumpet. My old middle school band director, Pat Downing, playing the trombone. We have my new best friend, Mike Miller, on the drums. And we have my dad, Matthew Miltich, on the upright bass.
Awesome. Well, welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
And you have been playing together for how long?
Well, we started rehearsing about January and put together a bunch of arrangements. And I spent the winter kind of putting these tunes together, combing through old records and arranging the pieces for this instrumentation. And then we started performing basically probably this spring. So we haven't been doing it that long. This is sort of like our fourth or fifth kind of major engagement, but we're very excited to be here.
You sound fantastic,
Thank
really,
you.
for fourth or fifth. And engagement, I mean, and you have one coming up.
Yep, we'll be playing at the KXC annual meeting on Saturday on June 5th in Grand Rapids. We start about 6 o'clock, and if you're in the Grand Rapids Iron Range region, come on over and support KXC and some good live music. So that's on June 5th.
Okay, and great live music. And how do you pick the music?
Well,
How do you decide?
I've been listening to this style of music since I was about 4 or 5 years old, my whole life. My dad introduced me to it, and I always wanted to have a group just like this. In fact, I wanted to have a big band, and I thought, well, let's start small and work our way up. So I took a number of Duke Ellington pieces that I've been listening to for a long time and decided to arrange it for this instrumentation, because this is a smaller group than Duke's big group, but that's kind of how I put it together.
Yeah,
So.
it sounds fantastic. I'm sorry I made you stand
No,
up, because I
that's
know
quite
you
all
got
right.
another song to play for
Yes.
us, and then we do get to hear a little bit more before this whole show is over. But
Yep.
thank you so much for making the effort to come over from Grand Rapids, leaving your day jobs behind, and making the road trip. So
Glad to
yeah,
be here.
what a pleasure to hear some lovely music. You know, I mean, someone made the comment, I could listen to this all night. So thank you. Take it away.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back to the playlist. We're proud to be part of the local art scene and thrilled to support the arts and art organizations that are doing such a great job in the region. Now, the Three Bridges Chamber Music Festival kicks off this Sunday in Duluth, and already the stage at UMD's Weber Music Hall is buzzing. Here's a taste of yesterday's rehearsal.
Yum bum bum bum. Instead of going yum bum 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 bum. It's just a thought to keep the energy level, since we're crescendoing and we're getting stronger, sort of in this big build up. It feels to me like sort of it goes then.
Tell me what piece of music we were just listening to.
Okay, that was Schumann Piano Quartet, and it's one of the most famous piano quartets in the repertoire.
And tell me about these musicians that are out there.
Wonderful people that we get to work with. One of the best things about this festival is that we get to work with extraordinary musicians and work on wonderful music like that. So we had, let's see, there was Rita Porphyris was there, Stefan Cartman,
and Jeannie.
So, and just wonderful people from, let's see, the Stefan and Jeannie are from...
They're from Milwaukee,
Wisconsin. And
Rita is new to Hartford, Connecticut.
So both Rita and I teach at the Hart School in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Welcome to both of you. I want to introduce you, Anton Miller and Sam Martin. Thank you both for organizing the Chamber Music Festival and coming over to help us learn a little bit about it.
Well, thanks for having us on.
Fantastic music, and it was a treat to listen to the pros, really kind of tweak and listen and play. The smiles on your faces were fantastic.
Well, you guys came at a time when we were having a lot of fun. Sometimes we yell at each other, but sometimes we also laugh a lot, so it's nice. The whole creative experience is quite something. It ranges from all kinds of emotions, from joy to anger to just making sure that we have a product that sounds really great in the end.
But that's what great music is. It has the soul and the music. Now, Sam, you launched this whole Three Bridges Music Festival. What were you thinking? what was your goal?
Well, that's a good question.
I want to say before he starts, I'm so proud of Sam. The things that he's done in Duluth here and with this festival is just extraordinary, and I think it's quite a testament to Sam that he's able to pull this off, and he does an amazing amount of work and just huge amounts of work to make this happen.
Wow.
So it's great.
It certainly is a lot of work, but when it was a couple years ago that Anton and I and some other people, we went out to Europe to do some music out there, and we had such a good time. We were with Brent Fredrickson, a pianist who was at the Three Bridges Festival last year. This is our second year. And we were with Gustavo Jimenez, who is going to be here this year. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer who's going to be doing a whole concert with us. And the three of us happened to be in New York at the same time. And we got together and we said, we need to start a music festival somewhere. And Anton and Brent and Gustavo were all, yes, let's do this.
And then we looked at Sam.
And then they looked at me and they said, you've got more time than we do. And I'm like, oh, really?
And you have a beautiful hometown.
That's right.
Yes. And so I said, well, look, if you're going to leave it to me, we're going to do it in Duluth, Minnesota, because it's a beautiful, beautiful place. One of the most important things about music festivals, which almost always happen in the summer. I mean, there's certainly winter festivals, but one of the most important things is you have to have an inspiring and beautiful location. And that's what we have here, obviously. And of course, I know people here, and knew I could get something going, and the people in the community and businesses have been so wonderful and so helpful. I mean, it's just such a great place.
Let's touch on some of the events. There's six different concerts that we can choose from. So
Absolutely.
Tell us what's going on.
Well, we kick off the season this Sunday, and it's all those musicians you just saw on the video earlier, and they're playing two relatively new works, a piece written in the 80s and one written in 1990. One by a she's one of the top composers in the country, and she's teaches in Minneapolis. Libby Larson, and then also we have a composer in residence for the festival this year. His name is Stephen Grich, and he was actually born in St. Paul, and his family had a cabin out in Hackensack, and but he's spent the last 30 years in Hartford, Connecticut, also at the Hart School, and he's just a wonderful guy, and his music is absolutely fantastic.
So they're giving me about 30 seconds, so I can choose from
Sunday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we have a free family concert at Sacred Heart, and then there's June 11th and 12th. That's a Friday, Saturday, back-to-back concerts. Again, great chamber music, more music by Steve Grich, and then
on the 17th.
The 17th is our final concert, but on the 15th, which is a week from next Tuesday, we have the big vocal concert where we're celebrating the birthdays of four major composers. They are Schumann, whose 200th birthday, Gustav Mahler and Hugo Wolf, both 150, and Samuel Barber, American composer, who's 100 years old this year.
I mean, just the passion and the quality of the music is fantastic. So thank you both for coming in to give us a little teaser and encourage people to go out and see it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely come.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. We'll be back right after this.
My name is Tom Isbell, and I'm directing and in Our Town, which is opening this weekend at the Playhouse. We're very excited by it. It'll run for 2 weeks. It's Thornton Wilder, classic American play. It deals with the issue of what is eternal in life and reminds us to be aware of the everyday events, and we're just kind of going through life so fast. And this play, more so than any other play, reminds us to take our time and to value those around us and the things around us. It's a beautiful play. If they miss this play, they're going to miss a really heartfelt experience. They're going to miss some beautiful acting, a really wonderful production design, scenic costume lighting. They're going to miss really, I think, a heartfelt experience in what it is to be a member of a community.
Our artist profile features a Duluth sculptor who pulls fantastic organic shapes out of tree trunks. Well, burls, actually. Tim Burns carves and crafts and coaxes almost living figures out of wood. His work has already caught the eye of the Tweed Museum of Art. Take a look.
Well, I'm going to cut this out and develop this arc a little bit more. I'm Tim Burns, and I'm a freeform sculptor. My most favorite part is probably what I'm doing now, which is getting in there with the tools, with an idea and sculpting, and then reacting to the spontaneity of the process, the working around some of the natural cracks in the wood. The unknowns are probably the most exciting part in the carving process for me. The wood itself is full of surprises, and the wood, yes, it definitely does shape the final outcome, but the sculpture is more a marriage of my intended sculptural form and the wood's inherent organic form.
It's a unique transformation of materials. It looks natural, almost like it grew that way.
This is the finished product here, so you can see how dramatic the transition from the raw material to the sculpted form is.
There are a lot of reasons why his work appeals to us in the terms of the museum collection. And this would be the first work that we'd purchase of Tim's. He has another discipline. He's a biologist that he works, that's his day job really. But there's a really unique connection between his day job and his art.
It's a little bit loose when I want to relate this to actual biologic process. I think more that I'm attracted to is just the naturalness of it, and the shapes that I carve into it I try to keep natural. For example, these shapes that are repeated, these bulbs with these long tails in here, is something that I repeated a lot in my work after taking a trip to the Puget Sound and seeing these waves rolling up on the beach and bladder kelp going up and down, and that image of this vegetation and this wave motion was something that struck me as being very beautiful. This is Acer rispersum, and it also translates loosely into a maple wave. 50% of the people come by and go, "Oh, that's creepy."
I kind of like that about them. They look like there's some strange organism or animal growing there.
The other 50% will come by and they won't see that at all. They'll just identify with the warmth of the wood and the natural shapes. I appreciate a reaction either way, whether it's they're creeped out by it or whether they think it's a really beautiful, warm piece of art.
We should note also that Tim is one of 3 artists creating work for the new deck expansion here in Duluth. So congratulations, Tim. Now our next guest is helping to expand the role of the Duluth Playhouse. Please welcome Tehsil Entenmann. So Tessa, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Pleasure to have you. So tell me about this Unplugged event and how does it fit with the Playhouse?
Well, the Playhouse, we're trying to do something new, something different all the time. We have big events here and there with all of our shows, and now we have decided to do an Unplugged event where we're getting just a bunch of local artists, local musicians in to play and do what they want to on the stage. And we just found out yesterday actually that we have this venue, the best place we can think of to put this kind of event, the North Shore Theater. We're going to be in the Upper Theater, and it'll be next week, opening Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we're just ecstatic about it.
And local musicians throughout all of those days.
Yes, we have different people every day. We have 2 or 3 different musicians, different styles coming each night. And you know what? It was really easy to find. There are so many people. I mean, we could do this for the whole summer probably. And you get the word out, and there's people everywhere in every corner of Duluth that have so much talent and so much to spread, and they can just fill up an evening worth of music.
That has been my experience working on this particular show. Is like Duluth and the Northland is full of really talented people. So I'm not surprised that you're not having trouble finding great people to play. You have a target audience in mind?
Well, it's open to all ages, and actually we're hoping to see just a variety of people, because there's a variety of music, a variety of styles, and everybody can come and see it. Just come and see this venue, see the potential it has, and support the music, support the artists.
And don't be afraid of, parking. Don't be afraid of, trying out the North Shore. If you haven't been there for a while, this might be your first opportunity to get back in.
Exactly. Well, they're doing that film festival this weekend, a couple different nights, and then next weekend we've got it, and just getting new things, different things in. They've cleaned up a few things. We're ready. We're ready to move on and move forward and show people this has potential, this is where we're going, and you can do just about anything in this venue.
And that is the way to invite people in and experience it. I really think you do have to see that space, and I actually have seen theater done on that stage where they cut off the upstairs, and it really does work well.
It's a beautiful space, and the acoustics, we were quite surprised. We went there last week and we're testing it out. They're phenomenal. It's just great how the sound in it's made to be used in theater, in music, and in anything.
Well, and I'm sure having people in it and that space and filling it with sound, you know, it's like it's meant to be. Okay, where do I go for more information? How do I get tickets?
More information, you can go to duluthplayground.org is where we have the lineup and the schedule. Tickets are only available at the door. They're only $5. $3 for students. $3, $5, you can afford this. Come and check it out, see it. We're gonna have a kickoff party next Thursday the 10th from 8 to 9 before the music starts. We're gonna have food and music in the lounge and refreshments, and 9 o'clock the music starts, and that's every night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, next week, 9 until the music ends. We'll have a different artist each night. Also the last weekend of June, June 24th, 25th, and 26th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday again.
You're going to make me remember a lot. Go see the website, guys.
Go to the website, duluthplayground.org. Yes, and come see us.
It sounds like you're throwing a great party. So thank you for coming in to talk about it.
Thank you,
I
Karen.
really appreciate it. And good luck with the North Shore, that whole thing. Yeah,
thanks.
Very good. Well, now for more information on the Unplugged event or anything else you see on the playlist, check out our website, theplaylistonline.org. You can also watch the show and put in your ideas for future features. Our Facebook page is a good place to find out what we're working on as the week develops, so please join us there as well. And now more music from our guest tonight, Sam Miltich and the Big Dipper Jazz Band. Thank you, gentlemen. Take it away. Fantastic. Just great. That is so great. What a treat to be able to listen to some fine music tonight. So here's the big question. What's the goals of the group? Are you going to start recording? Where do you think the Big Dippers will go?
Number one, more gigs. I just want to play more around the Northland. I would love to have more opportunity to play in Duluth because, you know, we had some time to kill, and Duluth is about the best place to hang out if you have some spare time, and it's just wonderful to be in Duluth. We'd love to play with this group in Duluth more often. I feel like I should just say, if you're interested in the music, you should visit our website, which is just www.sammiltich.com, or email me at sammiltich@gmail.com if you want to hear us perform, and hopefully we will record. I'm hoping to do it probably within a year or so.
Yeah, you have it, guys. So good luck to you wherever it takes you, and I hope I get to see you not only here, around Grand Rapids and everywhere else.
Great.
So thank you very much. I know you have one more song for us.
Yep.
We want to tell everybody else to put something good on their playlist too. If they want to seek out some great music, it's out there, guys. Put something good on your playlist. Thank you.
Thank you.